to this session. This is the Helping Forward Stepping into Your Future session. Tonight's session will last from 7 p.m. Eastern Time to 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And my name is Tatiana Pacheco. I am the Program Manager of Services at HFA. And tonight I'm honored to present one of our own, Allison Harrison. She's the Associate Director of Services at HFA. Before we begin the session, I would like to take a few minutes to thank the HFA sponsors that made this event possible. Next slide, please. Oh, there we go. So thank you so much to our HFA Symposium 2021 sponsors. We invite everyone here to go to the HFA exhibit hall throughout Symposium to visit the sponsors' virtual booth and to connect with them. Each of them have their own website and it's really cool. So if you haven't had a chance to check that out, I recommend you to. Just a quick, a few house cleaning things. All of you, all the attendees will be on mute throughout the session. There will be time for questions and for comments during and at the end of the session. This will be an interactive session and we'll be using a platform called Mentimeter. As you can see on the screen, there's a few instructions on how to access Mentimeter, and Allison will be talking a little bit more about that in a few minutes. We ask you to please use the Q&A box in Mentimeter to enter your questions. If for some reason you have any issues with that, you can use the Zoom chat box as well. If you have any technical issues throughout the session, please let us know using the Zoom chat box, the Mentimeter chat box, or our help desk in the Symposium Slack channel. We're here for you, and one of our HFA staff member will help you figure out whatever is going on with your technology. That being said, thank you so much for joining us tonight, Allison. You're all set to begin.
Thanks, Tatiana. It's always good to do something with you. We're a dynamic duo. So we're gonna have a little bit of fun tonight, I hope. I know it's weird to come to Symposium and you can see me, I can't see you. I know you're there, you know everyone else is there. Looks like we have about 30 people in this room with us. And we're hoping to make this interactive in a new way. I don't know if any of you have used Mentimeter before, but you can use it on your smartphone, on your laptop, on your tablet, whatever you have in front of you. So for example, I have a computer in front of me, so I'm just opening up a new web browser, like whatever browser my phone uses, and I typed in menti.com, and then it asked me to put in a code. The code is there at the top of the screen that I'm sharing, 1686012. So if you go there, then you will join our poll, and we're going to use that poll throughout this session. And I'm going to see how many of you were able to join our poll by asking you a first question. What was your first job? I hope it wasn't working at the office, or that it was working at the office at Thunder Mifflin. I'm not, either way, let me know. You'll see a little text box and you hit submit. And yes, and here we have answers popping up for us. So we have waitress, soccer camp counselor, cashier at a pizza place, customer service, daycare, Baskin Robbins. I bet you enjoyed a lot of ice cream while you were there. Notice delivery kid, snack bar. What? Congressional staff intern. Now that's a really cool first job. Detasseling corn. My mom had that job on her dad's farm as a kid. I hear it's a little uncomfortable, gets a little itchy after a while. Gate attendant at a racetrack. I want to talk to you all about all of these jobs. If anyone had trouble joining Mentimeter, please put that in the Zoom chat and we'll try to help you because we have a lot of questions and we would love to hear your feedback throughout this presentation. Beekeeper, babysitter was also my answer. So I think a lot of us started out that way. All right, I'm gonna ask one more question to get us started. Where did you keep your money if you were younger, whether that was the quarter that you found on the sidewalk or the $5 bill your grandma put in your birthday card? Did you have one of those cool Velcro wallets? My older brother, had a Velcro wallet with dinosaurs on it that I thought was really cool. We have the good classic piggy bank, wallet, box, bank, other. Excellent. I'll give another little while for other folks to put in their answers. One of the reasons that I wanted to use Mentimeter tonight is that your answers are going to be anonymous, and I want you to feel comfortable answering these questions honestly, because I'm going to ask some questions about employment and about finances. And I know that those can be taboo topics in many cultures and in our community, but they're topics that we all face. We all face challenges and questions with them, and it's an important topic to discuss. So, all right, Piggy Bank wins this poll. All right, now I want to hear what brought you to this session. If I hear that you all came for a really different reason than I think you might have come, then I'll know that maybe I need to ask you some different questions, or maybe we need to focus on a certain part. So you read a little paragraph about this session. What made you decide this one, to come to this one, to use what could have been a night watching Netflix, and instead to come here? And you know, I should have loaded like some Jeopardy music to play in the background, but I'll spare you my singing and humming, at least for right now. So, and my colleagues, you can see these answers popping up, right? Interested for a young adult fun, thinking about the future, intrigued, working with clients. First time I've seen this topic addressed at the conference, trying to find new resources, social worker, most relevant. This is great. Thank you. Yes, resources. Okay. This is really helpful to me. So I think I might have forgotten to properly introduce myself, but I think this might be a good time. I am a social worker, as is Tatiana. We do the Helping Hands program here at HFA, and we also run a Helping Forward program, which I'll be telling you more about. And we are here because we want to make sure the community has resources and education around this topic. So we're all here for similar reasons. And those of you who maybe you're here for someone else, maybe you're here because of a child or because of a client, I think that your answers to these questions tonight are going to be extremely valuable as well, because you also know what's missing. You know what we're not talking about. You know what's hard to find when someone asks you a question. And part of what we're trying to do tonight is prioritize what resources HFA can offer in the coming year. So, oh, and someone's asking the code for Menti. It's up here at the top of this shared screen. It's 16786012. And I'm sure one of my colleagues can write that in the chat if you don't mind. All right. And it's not too late to join Menti. We have plenty of information ahead. So let me tell you a little bit about Helping Forward. Many of you have heard of the Helping Hands program, which has been providing financial assistance to the bleeding disorders community since 1997. And since 1997, we have heard a lot of stories from the community, not me personally, since 1997, but the themes have been consistent over the years, that people and individuals and families who are in need of financial assistance often get to that position because of employment and other financial issues that are longer term. And so we wanted to come up with a program that would address those root causes of people needing financial assistance. Issues like having trouble finding a job that meets your physical needs, finding a job that pays enough to cover the bills, and not just covers the bills month to month, but allows you to start saving and planning for those emergencies that come up. Issues like affording the education or certifications that you need to get the job that will fit your needs. Navigating employment rights, benefits, accommodations. We know that people in the bleeding disorders community, they may need to take advantage of certain employer benefits and need to know how to navigate their rights. So we have started embarking on this path forward to offer learning. We have 2 modules up right now on HFA's Learning Central. We have courses on employment rights and self-advocacy and a course on career planning. I strongly encourage you to go check those out. It's not just one of us, typing up a bunch of screens of information. It's videos and quotes and stories from people from the bleeding disorders community who are helping share their insights as well. We have a couple of resource guides that are, in fact, I'm just gonna, at risk of messing up our sharing screen, I'm gonna show you on the Helping Forward page, you can find these resources. We have pages and pages of websites and phone numbers, resources, and you can click through these different headings and find information that can help you. One is on financial planning, and the other is on employment rights and job searching. So these are PDFs that are always up online. They're hyperlinked, so it's easy to click through them and get to the information that you need. So that is our resource guides. We also are starting to do some webinars, hoping to plan some for 2022 that feature subject matter experts who can make sometimes complicated issues really simple and easy to understand. We also know that this community has a wealth of knowledge and experience, and we want to offer places where you can share that with each other. Here's how I handled this situation. What would you recommend as a first step? So part of what we want to hear tonight is the topics you think we should cover in webinars. And this year in 2021, we also were so excited to offer our first round of job readiness grants. And we were able to provide 11 community members with grants to help them pay for tuition, certification courses, exams, and study materials to help them achieve their career goals and have a more sustainable future. So hoping to do more of that next year as well. So that was a quick overview of Helping Forward. We know that your time is valuable. We know that it's hard. to spend time online when you need to cook dinner and run errands and, sleep once in a while. So that's why we're offering an opportunity for you to be entered in a drawing for a $100 Visa gift card. We're actually going to be giving away several $100 Visa gift cards. By being here tonight, you're going to be entered in the drawing once. I'm going to have a poll question later where you'll enter your name and email address. You can get 2 more entries by registering on hsalearning.org and completing the employment rights module, and registering and completing the career planning module. Registration takes about, I don't know, a minute and a half. So it's a very low barrier to entry there. So 1 month from tonight, we'll do a drawing, and hopefully one of you will get $100 in your pocket right before the holidays and end of year bills. So I'm going to pause here. Any questions so far before we dive into these questions that I have for you? I'm checking. All right, I'm not seeing any questions right now. All right, well, let's dive in. So, which of these employment topics are you most interested in? You'll see on Menti that we have a variety of question types. This one is a ranking question. So you can pick which one's first, second, third, fourth, fifth. And we're going to have a lot more questions. So if you're not really interested in any of these, hopefully you'll see something later that will spark your interest. So let's see, we have 1 person answering, 3 people answering. I love watching and seeing all the little bars move. The 5 responses so far. Interviewing skills is ranking highest so far. Writing a resume, I tell you what, no matter how many times you write a resume or cover letter, I find it doesn't really get faster. So I think that's a great one to learn more about. Let's see. How to search for jobs, adjusting to the workplace. Very good. Okay. I see 15 of you have responded. I'll give a few more seconds. And I just want to give a shout out that we do actually cover a lot of these topics in those hsalearning.org courses. So if you want to know this information tomorrow, I would encourage you to start there. But again, we're hoping to find out what you want to hear more about, maybe in a more interactive session. Okay. There it is, writing the main cover letter, interviewing skills, getting experience and skills. Okay. This is such good information. Thank you so much. All right. Our next question. Oh, this slide was actually out of order. I apologize. The answer you just provided and the future ones are going to help us shape the future of health and forward programming. All right, so give me a little bit more information. What exactly are you interested in hearing about? If you're interested in getting skills and experience, is it how to find websites that you can get, where you can get a certification? Is it how do I find someone in the field I want to work in and get a mentor? Is it how do I write a resume when I have a big gap in employment? Yeah, just tell me a little bit more about what specifically you're interested in exploring with us. How can high school students get better prepared for careers? Yes. I often think about all the things I learned in high school that I will never use again, and all the things I wish I had learned in high school that I'd really like some more information about now. How do I write a resume? I don't have a lot of experience finding a job that can deal with hemophilia. Yes. Changing a career. Yes. These are really excellent questions. One of the resources that I really dove into, or one of the questions I really dove into, how do you find a flexible job? How do you find a job that you know either has protections and benefits that you can use, like is covered by like the FMLA? How do you find a job that maybe you could do from home? And in that resource guide and in our Learning Central courses, we provide you with some links to some websites where you can at least start. Wish there was a career that was better with disabilities and much needed time off. Flex jobs is one of those. USA Careers, you know that jobs in the government are going to be covered by FMLA and ADA. How do you answer interview questions when asked to tell about a time in the last month if you haven't worked in over a year? Yes. How do we find a way to answer questions honestly and creatively and draw on the skills that we use every day, even if we're not using those skills in the workplace? Finding a job with insurance? Yes. Noticing you limping? Yes. Y'all, thank you. These are really, really good questions. And I wish I could answer them all for you right now. But this tells me what we can talk about more in depth. Okay. I'm going to move on to the next question for the sake of time. Have you or someone in your household experienced one of these employment issues last year or this year? You can answer more than one of these. Trouble finding a job that meets your physical needs, finding a job that meets your financial needs, being let go for a reason related to a bleeding disorder, asked to quit for a reason related to a bleeding disorder, loss of employment due to COVID, loss of health insurance. Those of you who might be helping professionals, maybe these don't apply to you, but they might apply to some of the people you work with every day. Yes. I hear a lot of people wondering why we have a high unemployment rate when we also have a lot of job openings. And if we look at number 1 and number 2 here, that's one of the answers, is that a lot of the jobs that are available right now aren't meeting people's needs. So I see you. Okay, great. Go ahead and submit your answers if you haven't already. All right. If anyone wants to share just a couple sentences about your experience related to the last question I asked about what types of jobs are available in your area that aren't a good fit, or what happened when you lost your insurance? Were you able to find new insurance? Just anything that you want to share. We want to make sure that we're hearing what's happening in the community. We've been doing that. Another place where I've asked these questions is of our Helping Hand applicants. So in some of the next few questions I'm going to ask, I'll also share what we've heard so far. And the more information we get, the better we're able to understand some of the specific issues folks have faced. And if you don't feel like sharing, that is all right. All right. Also, at the end of this presentation, I'll share our email address if you do want to share any of your stories. It's helpinghands@hemophiliafed.org. I'm going to go on to the next question. Do any of these situations apply to you? I can pay my monthly bills. I do not have debt. I have at least $1,000 for emergencies. I'm saving adequately for retirement, whatever adequately means to you. I know there are a lot of different definitions of what is adequate. Just a quick gut check on these. Awesome. Again, I'm imagining us all in the room together, and maybe we have people going to the different corners of the room to help answer this question, except it's kind of nice, it's anonymous, so you don't have to feel weird about answering truthfully. You're helping us understand what your experience is, so thank you for that. So I wanted to pull up to also share with you some of the responses. We send an impact evaluation to Helping Hands applicants 6 months after their application time. And from those responses so far, only 30% of folks say that they are able to cover their monthly financial expenses. I'm going to go to the next question. Do you have a plan if a future financial crisis arises? So any kind of plan. Some of the plans that we've heard are reducing expenses. I'm gonna utilize my savings account. I know that I have family and friends that I could ask for help. I know of an assistance program that I could apply to. I know I have this this gig. I could start driving for Lyft. I used to do that. So we have no, yes, and unsure. And again, just want to share, these answers actually look pretty similar to answers we've received from other folks. In our previous results, we had 38% of people say yes, and the rest, 36% said no, and 27% said unsure. So looks similar. Okay. Which of these situations apply to you? And if none of these apply to you, you can just skip this question. That's totally fine. In case you're wondering about consumer debt, that is debt. Actually, I have a definition right here, that it's a debt from the purchase of goods that are consumable and don't appreciate. So some of us might have student debt or mortgage, have a mortgage or something like that. Consumer debt is some things that you buy, from groceries to, I don't know, like my little stuffed animal here is a consumer good. Maybe you ended up buying 10,000 of these one late night and now you have some consumer debt. Two things, they happen. That was not my story. That was just a hypothetical to make you giggle, I hope. So thank you for answering these questions. Credit card debt. Yes, we hear from a lot of folks who have credit card debt. We started using it when the terms were really good, and then it's hard to pay them off, and then the interest keeps racking up. I'm going to go ahead to the next question. Oh, hold on, I accidentally skipped it. Let me go back. This is an important one. You made it pretty far into our session. I hope you'll stay. But I want to go ahead and give you the opportunity to enter your name and your email address so that you'll be entered in our drawing. The results are hidden, so don't worry, your name and email are not going to show up on the screen here, but we'll just have them in our records so that you will be entered into our drawing. So please take a minute and get entered. You don't have to enter if you don't particularly want or need a Visa gift card. Fine. And if you win, I hope you will get the feeling of this lovely person blowing confetti at you. Or maybe not blowing it. We are still tossing it at you gently. We'll say that. So thanks, Morali. It's hard to talk to a crowd that I can't hear, so appreciate your smiles. All right, just give you another second to hit submit, make sure you got your name spelled right. Okay. All right, just a little bit more. What do you believe contributes to your financial challenges? Or if you want to answer on behalf of, your client, that is also totally fine. I know that those of you who work really closely with community members probably have your finger on the pulse of what the biggest issues for them are. And while you're putting in your answers, I'll share that, again, from the survey that we've already collected. Thank you, Jean. The top answers were COVID-19, lack of employment, or limited job opportunities. Those were the two highest. And then we had three that were kind of tied. Low wages, housing, and debt were kind of tied for third in the survey we've already done. Okay, high medical expenses, low wages, housing. Yes, this resonates for sure. Okay, I want to make sure we have a little time at the end for Q&A. Here's another ranking question. There's so many topics that we could cover in webinars and in future e-learning and blended learning. Help us decide which topics are most important to you. While you're doing that, I don't have Jeopardy music, but I'll show you another one of my consumer goods, which is this baby Yoda with a frog in his mouth who's also a bobblehead. I hope this helps you continue to answer my pretty serious questions by having this image in your head that safe place. It's a safe place. We've got baby Yoda with us. We need some backup. Okay, this is really helpful. Funding retirement, investing. Okay, those are two that I honestly did not expect to come out on top. So I'm glad we asked. Okay, an emergency fund, budgeting. Yes, understanding your relationship with money. I want to give you a little insight into that one. So I am certified in financial social work, and a lot of what that is helping understand why we have the thoughts and feelings about money that we have, and is our story around money, and how do we start to act in a way that reflects our values, and how do we feel empowered about money and feel in control about money. It's really powerful, and I think a way that finances aren't often approached. Okay, thank you. I'm going to go to the next question, which is open-ended, and I think maybe this is one of our last questions before we open things up. So this little dachshund wants to know specific financial health questions. So think about the answers you just gave. Funding retirement is important to me. What's my specific concern or question around that? What do I want to know about budgeting? I know that there are 5 different websites I could use to help me budget, but that. Thank you. That's a really good one. How do you save when you have a fixed income? That's a question that a lot of community members have. It's a good idea to consolidate debt for one payment. That's a great question. Yes, yes, affordable insurance. Ooh, how does your money grow? Yes, money can do a lot of things. You can spend it, you can share it, you can grow it, you can save it. Yes. When to retire makes me nervous. Makes me nervous too. Saving for kids' college. I'm really glad you shared these, and I have no doubt that each of us is sitting at our own computer nodding our heads. Yes, yes, yes. These questions are also questions that I have. Estate planning. These are topics that are really important to us, and there's going to be a new module on Learning Central about caregivers, and Lori, our Learning Central queen, is starting to touch on some of these questions in that caregiving module. So keep an eye out for that. All right. I would love to hear more from you. I don't know about you, my mind is kind of reeling with all of these great topics that we could talk about. So you can put your questions into the Menti Q&A. If you're on Zoom and not on Menti, you, I believe, can raise your hand, and we can, or any of you, we can unmute you if you want to ask your question aloud or make your comment aloud so we can hear you. If you're not comfortable with that, just put it in the chat, either on Zoom or on Menti. What are your thoughts right now? And I also am going to share some resources with you, so don't worry, I would never leave you without some resources. Is there one thing that is the burning most important topic that you think, if we were to schedule a webinar in, January of 2022, what should that one be about? Yes, I'm seeing financial health info in general could help a lot of people. I think so too, anonymous friend in this room. I think so too. And we're really excited. We've been putting out feelers to see what kind of funding we can get. We've already connected with a couple of people from the community who would love to help share their insights on financial health. And so we're going to make it happen, whether that's on Learning Central or in webinars or what have you. It's the next frontier for helping forward, for sure. Okay. Any other questions, stories? All right, and I appreciate those of you sharing some of your specific situation. I do want to encourage you to check out some of these resources. And oh, let me see, I might have another couple questions. Oh, I do have another couple questions. Let me go back. Okay, we have finding affordable insurance that works for you. If you don't have insurance, an insurance option through an employer, if you don't qualify for Medicaid or Medicare, or if you're not sure if you do, you can go to healthcare.gov tonight, go, and start clicking through. You'll be asked some questions. It'll tell you if you might be eligible for one of those insurance benefits. If not, you can get coverage. Don't be shocked by the sticker prices. As you go through the system, you will see if you're eligible for subsidies to bring down that sticker price. So don't give up before you've gone through it, because it is possible to find insurance that is affordable. I know it still costs too much. I know it's a problem. We also have some hotlines that you can call to get help navigating insurance. So I thank you for sharing that. How to properly use credit. Lord have mercy, why is credit so complicated? I'm a smart person and I have a master's degree and I work for a financial assistance program. And I do not totally understand how credit works because they make it very difficult and mysterious, and you have to work hard and be intentional to find out what's happening with your credit. So yes, this would be an excellent topic for us to cover. Thank you so much. Someone else wanted to hear a little bit about the future of Helping Forward programming. We are hoping to offer more job readiness grants next year. We are planning to do webinars, and pending funding, we would love to do a module on Learning Central about financial health. So, and we will continue to improve or to update our resources on employment rights and job searching. So just more, there's more of all of this is the future. All right, we just have a few. Oh, thank you, Miriam. Miriam just put in our chat box an excellent article that our policy team wrote about reviewing your health coverage options. There was a new federal law this year with everything that's been going on with the pandemic. And so if you tried to look for insurance like months ago, last year, you got defeated, try again. The subsidies and options might be better for you. You can also look on there to look at potential red flags to make sure that you don't just get the cheapest coverage, you get the coverage that's actually going to help you pay for what you need. I want to make sure I leave you with some resources. And give me a second, I'm going to paste these in a chat box. Thank you for your patience. I have about 6 different windows open. And so I'm going to find the one I need. Like if I whisper, you won't see me messing around on my computer. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm putting these in the chat box, so that'll make it easier for you to save them. Hopefully, it's a little messy looking. We have a patient assistance portal on the HFA website, hemophiliafed.org/patient assistance portal, all one word, all lowercase, will get you there, or go in the menu. We spend hours and hours and hours and hours, a few times a year, updating those resource guides. We have one on financial assistance, English and Spanish, mental health, English and Spanish, financial planning, English and Spanish, employment rights, English and soon to be in Spanish, HIV and HCV resources in English and soon to be in Spanish, manufacturer assistance in English. So lots of resources there. Please check it out. And in the future, we're going to website, and it's going to be like a lot prettier, but it's usable. It's very usable. Lots of hyperlinks. The Financial Resilience Center from the National Disability Institute. The link is in the chat. This is a great resource, and it's financial information from the perspective of someone with a disability, whether you are defined as that by the government or not. You have specific needs. This is a great resource for you. There is a legal support hotline by PSI. One of the things they can help you answer questions about is legal issues related to employment. They also have a separate hotline, the Access line, which can help you get information about government benefits. If you've been denied for disability, they can help you for free if you have a bleeding disorder. Great resource to know about. And then this is a brand new resource, like last week, hot off the presses. Patient Advocate Foundation has a new care line. They can speak to people in all languages through different services that they have. That care line will connect you with someone who can offer case management. So we at HFA, we run some programs, but we can't be your case manager through a whole process. They have case management. They can help you with questions about insurance, about benefits, about all sorts of different topics. You can go to the website. I dropped the link in the chat to read more about that care line. And I think we're right at time. So I'll just leave you with the email address that you can use to reach the services team, so that whichever one of us is available can answer your question. Also, the main HFA phone number. They passed the message to us since not working in the office right now. We would love to hear from you. And just really appreciate your time tonight. Thank you so much for coming and for caring about these topics. We really look forward to talking about them more with you, and hopefully one day in the actual same room. So thank you, everyone. Please stay online. When we end this webinar, you'll see a screen with an evaluation. Would love to get your feedback. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Allison, for sharing your time. And thank you, everyone, as Allison was just saying, for joining us on Mentimeter, for playing with us on this new platform, and for sharing your feedback. As we mentioned throughout the session, we'll use your feedback to develop future for helping forward programming. And as Allison was saying, now once we end the session, you'll just see an automatic evaluation. It's going to pop up in your browser. So if you're using this from your cell phone, note that it's not going to be on the Zoom application itself. It'll take a second and it will take you to your browser on your phone. Um, as you probably expect, we'll use the evaluation feedback to determine content for future educational sessions. And so we appreciate any and all feedback we can get. Note that you'll need to add your name to the evaluation to be eligible for the prize drawing for the day today. And so thank you, everyone. Remember to go back to the agenda at hfasymposium.org so you can get to the other sessions tonight and tomorrow and until the 28th. See you.